Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, children of God. Thank you so much for dropping by this video. As I'm filming this, it's morning. It's morning here in California, and what a great way to start one's day than to take in vitality, vital life energy, and to reflect on some what I consider to be truths about how to live life. So, first of all, how to take in vital, vital life energy. Please sit with your legs uncrossed, feet flat on the floor, hands on your legs, palms facing upwards. Please sit with your back nice and straight, not tight and stiff, but a good posture, if possible, not leaning against a chair, with your back nice and upright. And then close your eyes. And open yourself to the possibility of receiving healing life energy. And then begin to observe the body, having the will, the intention to take in good energy. Just observing the body, intending, wanting to take in vital aliveness. Noticing what you feel. Letting ourselves be filled up. Please continue to tune in, and I'm going to read a little bit from Bruno Groening. Bruno said, "Take heed of every nasty thought. Everybody is guided by his thoughts." Meaning, with every thought that comes in, we need to check and see if it's a good thought or not. Because thoughts are just not these things that float by. We act based on the thoughts we say yes to. Continuing to observe the body, noticing what you feel, and being mindful of our thinking, checking each thought. Continuing to take in this good energy. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Here's another quote from Bruno. If I put the question to you, who will give me his worries? Who will give me his suffering? Throw them off and receive something else. See to it now that you receive health, meaning that which is new. Throw off the dirt and receive health, and don't think about the illness. Bruno Groening has very graciously offered to receive our burdens and to give us something so good in return, health and wellness. When I first heard this, I didn't know what to think of that. I'd never heard anything like that. But I tried it, and I've experienced healing after healing. So please, if you've never tried it, hand over your burdens to Bruno Groening. If not Bruno Groening, a helper you trust. And every time we think about it, let's remember that that means we've taken it on and we need to give it away again. Bruno Groening once said, "You don't have to believe in me or have faith in me, but you do need to trust me." And I understand that to mean that um, each one of us needs a spiritual helper. And Bruno Groening never claimed to be the only such helper. So if not Bruno Groening, check in and see, is there a spiritual being, a person such as Christ or Buddha or Mother Mary, who you really trust? You feel like you can entrust your heart and soul and destiny to. This is from Powers of the Spirit, page 147. This is, for me, a very profound quote about, well, just let the word speak for itself. Everyone must, for as long as they do not walk the path of nonviolence, experience and carry to term in their own bodies everything that they have caused or done to other people by way of evil. This laborious, lengthy, and heavy rhythm of birth and death has been in operation since human beings first abandoned the divine path. So, to my knowledge, Bruno Groening never used the word karma, but he spoke of this, he spoke of reaping what you sowed. And here he speaks of that all the harm we have done to others, we're going to have to experience it back until we walk the path of non-violence. It's a very interesting word, non-violence. And elsewhere he said very specifically that the teachings of Christ is the path of nonviolence. So until my understanding of all this is that until we walk the path where we're seeking grace, seeking forgiveness for all the harm we've done, then we're going to have to experience it. Actually, I'll read another quote that really makes this clear. Bruno said, this is Powers of the Spirit, page 202. If a person or group of people are traveling the wrong path or have traveled it and they want to turn around because they have now convinced themselves of the truth, they must then, in accordance with the law of cause and effect, first go all the way back to the place where they left the right path, the divine one. So, if, for example, as a result of the lures and seductions of the evil side, someone has believed in or done what is not right for 20 years, they must then, despite their present goodwill, go back for just as long a time, meaning 20 years. And so another 20 years, right back to their former abandoning of the path, so that they can walk the right path for the first time. This then is what the harsh law demands, as long as the effect of spiritual love, which is what first makes forgiving and forgetting possible, is not yet active. Therefore, the teachings of Christ, however, which we must all eventually put into practice, the discharge of guilt goes much, much quicker. So, my understanding of all of these things is he calls it the law of cause and effect, that when we do harm, we have to experience an equal measure of that back. If we step off the good path and we walk the wrong path for 20 years, then we have to spend another 20 years just to get back to the point where we walked off the path until we engage and practice the teachings of Christ, which involve seeking grace, which involve forgiveness. Now, how profound is all of this? How important is all of this? Bruno Groening then says, yes, if a person really lets go, it can happen in the very next moment. But that is a spiritual healing and always the grace of God. Do you now have some idea of what Christ has really done for human beings and what he means for all of us? Yes, for the whole world. But those present here cannot grasp this all-encompassing reality. Otherwise, they would not be sitting here with such sad faces and gloomy thoughts. So the teachings of Christ, and to some extent, Christ himself, allows us to experience so much grace that Bruno calls it an all-encompassing reality. So let's really sit with this idea of divine grace and forgiveness, and this idea of the harsh law and the law of cause and effect, and that the way to rise above that are the teachings of Christ and grace. I'd like to thank everyone so much for joining in, and we'll be doing this again real soon. You can check the channel to see when the next scheduled time is, and I wish you a glorious day full of good energy, and full of seeking grace, reaching out for help and receiving that help. Take care. Much love.